Good morning, afternoon, and evening, guys. You're locked into Conscious Minds TV, and this is the Cotch with D.V.G, and this is episode 3. And today, my very special guest is Flat Earth Dan, and we're going to be talking about Flat Earth, NASA, and other subjects which connect to that. How's it going, Dan?
What's going on, man? I'm happy to be on this.
Thanks for taking your time out to talk to me. I've been checking out your work lately online, and I can say that we have a lot in common, which is why I wanted to talk to you. So I really appreciate you taking your time out to talk to me.
Oh yeah, I'm stoked. I'm super pumped. Got a lot. Got a lot. I always have a little bit or nothing, or I have a lot in my mind at the moment. Though there's so much going on. I was actually listening to Jaren's flight path lie exposed live plus lots more. That's what it's called on his. He'll be uploading it. But he was just he was presenting the Earth's the ball model and showing it tilted on its axis, and he was showing how it would be the curvature would be more. There would be more curve towards the top of the ball, and the bottom of the ball there would be more curve there, and also talking about how it's the opposite. Like there's how it's the hottest temperatures have been recorded in the North Pole, and at the bottom is a giant chunk of Antarctica supposedly when it's tilted on its axis and going through its motions and the seasons around the sun in the heliocentric model. It would be the opposite. How would there be a giant ice formation when just the whole, oh god, that's why I don't even like to go to try to make sense of the heliocentric model, because that's a technique that globetrotters will use against us free-thinking people. That they like to, well, what about this equation, or what about, and they'll try to suck us into equation that has no relation to reality, which is what Tesla's trying to tell us.
The funny thing is with a lot of flat Earth stuff, heliocentric stuff, should I say, their own equations contradict themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, for argument's sake, the curvature which you was just talking about is 8 inches per mile squared.
Yeah.
But so at 50 miles, there should be a 6.3 mile drop.
But yeah, well over 1,000 feet.
Exactly, but somehow, did you see on the news thing where they talked about
a mirage?
The mirage.
This is a mirage. It's not real.
It's ridiculous. It is totally ridiculous.
By the way, that guy just got an award. The president just awarded it. He awards actors. He gives them big, what are they called? Golden Globes.
Oh, God.
So the actors get the Globe Awards for being good actors and shilling in the name of, and so they just what's that guy? That guy, the Mirage guy, just got his award literally like 2 days ago or yesterday for being a good actor. The president just gave him. They're all actors.
Of course.
All news people on the news. All the people and the politicians and all the people in the newscasters, they're all failed actors. They weren't good. They didn't have enough facial expressions or funny bones inside of them to be good, to be even a decent actor. So that's why they had to go and work on the news and on the TV, because that's where all the shitty actors go, like Miz from the real world. So the Miz from the real world is a reality television show, and then the Miz will get upgraded to primetime television, go to Monday Night Raw, and then become a wrestling champion, a reality wrestling champion. So, but it was the WWF, but they had to change it to the WWE, World Wrestling Federation. They were in a dispute with the World Wildlife Foundation, even though I'm pretty sure WWF was around first before them. But besides the point. So then Vince McMahon, who is a Freemason, by the way, a 33rd degree, he and his son's a 32nd degree, Shane McMahon. And when I speak, I relate everything. I don't really even know what's going to come out of my mouth, but I always relate it to the current paradigm, like the society's collective unconscious issues, or whatever you want people like to call them, New Agers like to call them. I always relate whatever the heck I'm trying to say, and well, I know where I'm going. I know people just need like a theme. They like to be entertained, so that's why Vince had to change it to World Wrestling Entertainment,
Yeah.
WWE. So then the Miz, what's his name? I don't even know his real name, but these are like the Miz. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Sorry, that's the Miz. Did you
The
say?
the Mike, the Miz from the real world. You know who I'm talking about?
Not really. No.
You don't? Okay. Well, do you know? Do you ever watch WWE wrestling?
I used to when I was younger, but not in recent times. I haven't.
Well, you've done yourself a very good service by by quitting watching that. I've lived I moved here to San Diego like almost 3 months ago, and I pretty much quit watching wrestling. It's just I don't watch any TV now except for South Park, and when It's Always Sunny on Philadelphia comes on, I'm definitely gonna be watching that. But I can see how flat Earth is inside of everything. It's inside of politics with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. It's in television. Every single commercial, every single movie, um, every single show, every single show. It's nonstop.
Yeah.
It's like it's a virus. It's a poison. It's a glitch. It's a virus that's been injected by certain people hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And I'm gonna try, since you don't know who the Miz is, I'm gonna bring it back to Flat Earth, because I was gonna bring it back there, but you don't really know. He's just an actor. They're actors who get promoted and put in position by certain globalists.
Yep. It's almost like the sports people as well. They get paid loads of money
Oh,
to
absolutely.
keep us occupied and not concentrate
Same
on real issues.
same,
And
same thing.
myself, I'm a big sports fan. Like here in England, like soccer's quite big,
Yeah.
and I have a season ticket for my team that I've supported all my years. But I can
Yep.
honestly say, due to me awakening and stuff, I can honestly say the passion's gone out of it a bit. I still enjoy it, but the thing is, I don't follow one of them big clubs, so it's not very. How can I say?
Oh, I see. I know what you mean, like Manchester and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
it's just literally it's a very working class team that I follow.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So
That's weird. So like an underground, non-cultish team. See,
exactly.
I actually, that's so funny. Like I'm the opposite. I love basketball, and I'm a Los Angeles Lakers fan,
Yep.
and I've been so since 2003, since Kobe and Shaq were together. So so it's so like you said, your passion has gone away since awakening to the flat Earth reality, and you just see the ball. They rub their balls in our faces in every game, every commercial, and it's sickening. And
Yep.
and
Did
so I try to make light of things, man. I try to be I try to laugh, like I try
that's
to
the
just
best
bring
way. At the end of the day,
levity and joke.
you
I
can't.
try to teach people through humor and like
Exactly.
non-seriousness. That's why I'm always just I go from one topic to the next, because it's all related whether you see it or not. Just because I can
Exactly.
see it doesn't mean I'm a bad guy.
Yeah. You see, we was talking about basketball. I actually see something the other day where it was talking about, the black lines on the basketball.
Yeah,
It's a symbology of like the B of like the it's like a Dogon. Do you know the Dogon tribe in Africa? Have you heard of them?
that's like one of the oldest ones recorded, right? And
Yes.
they were talking about flying machines. in alien civilizations, I
Yeah,
believe.
like Sirius, they were saying that they come from the star
Ah,
constellation of
yep, yep,
Sirius and stuff like that. But there's so
yeah,
much, like you said, it's everywhere. But if you're not awakened, you can't see it. But if once you are awakened, then you can see it.
yeah. So
But
yeah, my roommate tells me this. It's like, Dan, stop talking about the flat. Like somebody will walk into the house and they'll have a shirt that says like Flat Brewery on it, and I'll just laugh. And my roommate's like, what? And the person who came in like, why are you laughing? He's like, it says flat on your shirt. He relates everything to the flat Earth.
but before we delve a bit more deeper into that, I just wanted to
Yeah,
ask a few not personal questions, but just a bit, just to get a background on when you got into more esoteric knowledge, and was there a certain event, or was it a certain person
yeah.
you used to watch, or is there a certain point, or have you always been interested in it?
Well, I've always been like a jokester, a class clown, but no, there definitely was. I remember even before what I'm about to say. I remember like Bush versus the second Bush, Bush Jr. versus John Cheney or Dick Cheney. Yeah, Dick Cheney.
Okay.
That was for the 2001 presidential election. I remember that was the Florida election that was obviously rigged. And so when that happened, I was like, oh, okay. So I was like probably in like middle school then. And I was like, oh, okay. So that shit's all rigged. And but I didn't know like I didn't really research enough about like the JFK stuff, and I was just on the fringe. I just didn't trust. I didn't pay attention to anything mainstream or anything like. I was one of the kids that was put in um, I was diagnosed with like ADHD because, and my parents, and then I had to. It's so interesting. Then the Ritalin, yeah, he needs to take Ritalin, and then my parents were like, yeah, no, he definitely doesn't need pills. So then we just decided to throw it away and not take it,
Yeah.
and like that's important, like that throwing it away and not taking the Ritalin. Most kids that I have talked to, they took it for a long time. It really zombified them and did something to them. And so yeah, so then I realized that was all rigged, obviously. And then my brother, my older brother, his name's Derek. He uh, he got hit by a car in 2007 on July 4th, and he was in a coma for 10 days. And so,
Oh, I'm sorry
well,
to hear that, brother.
well, that's what spurred me on. That's what really turned me off, and then turned me on.
Oh, wow.
So while he was in a coma for 10 days, and I noticed all these nurses and doctors, and I can see right through them. I can see who are authentic and who's inauthentic.
Yeah.
And then there was a family because it was a critical condition, so they stay in a particular floors in critical condition, trauma rooms, and and so there's an Amish family, and Amish people don't go to hospitals, and they they just do all their own stuff. They do everything themselves,
Okay.
so this dude got his guts trampled on by a horse, and he got all his innards and shit trampled, and he got internal bleeding, and his name was Jebediah. I remember this fool, and so like his whole family, they came in with all their food. Like they bring in jars of pickles and pickled beets and shit. And man, I was like depressed I mean, I was just turned off. I didn't pay attention. I was just reading a fiction book, and that was in 2007. That's the last time I've read a fiction book was almost a decade ago.
Yeah.
So I stopped reading fiction after that book, and I noticed the priests come in too. But again, I'm relating this all to the flat Earth. I noticed the priests and the hospital people and the doctors, so they work together. See, now you have doctors and nurses, and they want organs. Or organ harvesting is a deal. They actually, New York doctors, they actually get more money. They get raises and bonuses if they harvest a particular amount of organs. So, so obviously the doctors will lie about my brother being in a coma and his health. So he potentially could have made it out of the coma, but the doctors will they'll lie to the family and say that yeah, he's not going to make it. His brain is in such a traumatic state that he's going to be a vegetable and he's not going to recover and be paralyzed and so they can lie to the patients and then harvest the organs, and then the priests come in and say, "Oh, it's all right, God," and they'll trick your brainwashed parents, and they'll go, "Oh, because my parents were, brainwashed by their parents, just like, well, we all know that."
Likewise, brother.
So I don't need to preach about that because we all know it. And so now we have a religious priest guy coming in and working together hand in hand. Remember now, there's no such thing as the religion and state working together. They don't work together, remember? There's no such thing as that. That's what zombies believe. Zombie brain dead people believe that the separation of church and state actually exists, but in reality, the church and state work hand in hand, just
Exactly.
like the left and right politicians, Democrats and Republicans work hand in hand, and and so after I realized that that's just all a big fucking money grabbing game, all hospitals are evil, all religions are pretty much evil. Not every single person involved, not every single person involved in the hospitals. People who are listening, no, it's not. It's not like I believe all pilots are evil and in on a conspiracy. All people in a hospital are in all. Really, no. Use your fucking brain. Think, discern, think outside the box. I'm not saying that. Stop assuming.
You're talking about at the root level, ain't you? Obviously, the people that are in charge, they're the ones who.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I used to speak in specifics, like very, very specifics for years and years and years, for like over 5 years. But recently, over the past like 2 years or 1 year, I've switched back to generalities. And that's why I all of a sudden switch gears, and you notice how I raise my tone and I talk in general, like I'm talking to society like it's a redheaded stepchild. Do you notice that all of a sudden?
Yep.
It's just simple. It's just that's how it's like. I have to prepare somehow. So if William Shakespeare shake the spear, if he's shaking the spear, shaking the spear of his pen, if he in writing his own reality. If all the world's a stage, then I'm gonna uh, I'm gonna learn my role, but I'm not gonna be reduced and limited to my role. I'm gonna go beyond it, and I'm not gonna let anyone put me in a role. And that's a thing. People want to put labels on you and tell you. It's just no. That's I'm not a flat earther because how can I be 100% sure? But what I am 100% sure is that I don't see a curve in
that's so mad.
Or rivers or oceans. You don't see any curvature there. I see a curve in a cup of water at the meniscus level, but that experiment doesn't replicate in large bodies of water.
Yeah.
So after my brother, we finally made the decision to give his heart away to another guy, and that guy is still alive. That guy's alive, and he's got a family and kids. So my brother's heart is beating right now on somebody else, and it's actually illegal to contact him without getting in touch with the government first. But anyway, so I was like depressed for a year, and you said what really spurred it on, and so then after that year of just depression, I became a teacher at Stanley G. Falk School, and I taught like bad kids from kindergarten to kids that can vote, like 19 years old, and then I just decided to move across the country, and I drove from Buffalo, New York to I drove to Los Angeles to just be homeless and watch the Lakers and try to like teach and like do tutoring and try to do comedy and like stand-up comedy and just honestly, I just wanted to continue my beat alone and go away and go on the so-called spiritual quest.
Yeah.
Just go through the dark night of the soul, and then I started. Then all of a sudden, all these coincidences and synchronicities and psychic things started to happen to me when I was homeless for almost 6 months total, next to what's it called, Sixth and Main Street in downtown Los Angeles. So that's like right next to Skid Row. It's like really bad place where like bums and homeless people congregate in tents and cardboard boxes and piss all over themselves and right on the streets and shit right there. And so it's one of those experiences that you learn from a lot, man. It's just
Definitely.
it's like I just would chill out at the library, go to the YMCA, shower every single day, and then all of a sudden I started like befriending security guards and at just all types of security guards because the security guards walk in the streets and cops walk in the streets all the time. So I just would talk to them and like be their Hawkeye, their extra eye, and because there's a lot of shit going on. Like people, if you park in like out of the line, people will like carve a Nazi swastika in the side of your car. People are no joke in downtown Los Angeles. So then I started. Then I watched somebody. I don't want to get into details because it's a lot. But somebody came up to me and they gave me a piece of paper that had all these documentaries on it.
Yeah.
The Obama deception, all these Clinton documentaries, Zeitgeist. You ever hear that one?
Yeah, I actually mentioned in my last show, actually, Zeitgeist was one of the first things that actually got me to look at things in a different way. I think it's many people's first documentary that they've watched has kind of opened it. But once I watched it, I didn't react upon it straight away. I took it in, but I didn't kind of go and research it. But it's like you say, brother. I've noticed a common theme with all my guests. It's like it's always through pain that we turn to these to try and find a spiritual path or to find the truth. And because it's weird, because like myself as well, I worked in a hospital for 6 years as well, funny enough, and I got made redundant. And then you said you went to help bad kids. I actually went to work in helping people in with mental health.
Yeah.
And it was actually working there, which.
Well, there's a lot of mentally ill people with the bad kids. They're all mixed together.
Yeah, it was actually when I started working there and seeing how the system actually treated them, and then we wasn't actually trying to help them. We was just using them to make money.
Ugh.
And that was my final straw, and I left the job. And ever since then, I've been on my own path, and I've just my mind's expanded. I've meeting so many new people, and I've come across all different theories, and just like yourself, basically, just searching for the truth, and not just for that. Also, like you said, so people can't use you like they've been using us for years. Do you get what I mean? We can see past the bullshit now.
Yeah.
So I definitely relate to that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely horrifying. I mean, I'm still processing a lot of things, and I still have to have conversations with like my father about specific details. Like I need to go, hey, when you were listening to those machines, beep beep, beep, and the heart machines and the brain monitors. It's like, dude, those are questions that no one wants to talk about with their family. How was he? Why did you give up so early? Like that's fucking crazy. And coming from someone who didn't really talk to his dad or even his mom, like I was like raised by my brother, so it's like that. It's just shut me down, and then I'm like, all right. Like my roommate said it best. He's like, yeah, my roommate has multiple older brothers. and so he understands that, and like
Likewise.
and he's like, dude, if my older brother passed away, he's like, man, I probably would become fucking spiritual myself. And like, so spiritualism became a part of my life, and that, like, and I realized the good and the evil, and that's called
Yep.
dualism, the dualist yin yang
Yep.
mindset. And so I just got out of that, and I'm like, yo, I'm so sick of dualism. And once you know it, dualism is what all the heliocentrists and all the globalists are. They're all dualists. They all believe in materialistic moral relativism. They're all that's all these globalists and heliocentrists. They're all atheists, and they're all what are nihilists or atheists or
Yep.
uh, it's just simple to peg. How can I say? How can I know this if it's not true? It's like it's. Have you noticed that?
What's that
It's like
about globalists all being atheists?
they're all atheists.
Yeah, it's
They're all,
because I would say, well, their whole model basically, by us living on a globe in a un, it makes us insignificant. So by making us insignificant, then we just can go out drinking and feeding their pocket while we're ruining ourselves and they're getting the riches. So everything, like you said, correlates and syncretizes. But people don't look at it in this way. Do you get what I mean? Because
yeah.
if we're just a vast speck within nothing, then what that's implying is we're insignificant. So that gives people the incentive to go out and get drunk and get on heroin and do whatever. And do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
demoralize yourself basically. But on a flat Earth theory, if we're the center, then it shows that we're special and we're here for a reason. But
Yeah.
it's just I get
Oh
really
yeah.
frustrated as well when I talk about this subject because when, like you say, we don't know for 100% sure, but almost 95% I know that we're not living on a globe. It's
Oh well,
just
yeah. That's
it's
why my model is. Sorry to interrupt. Just real quick. My model is it's flat, spherical, and hollow.
yep.
And
Likewise,
it's how could it how could and there's obviously other like there could be other flat. So I could see pillars. I could see beyond an ice like that ice shelf.
yep.
I could see other things besides ice. I could see like a gap in space, and that's why they get confused with black holes and parallel realities and
Yeah.
dimensions and warp hole and portals, and they have all these science fiction terms. Like it's just it's. I didn't grow up watching Star Trek and Star Wars. I watched Star Wars a little bit, but I'm so thankful that I didn't watch specific things
Same.
growing up. Like and back to the awakening question. Uh, so I had to like in 2009, which is about that's 1 year after my depression when my brother passed, about 2007, and then year of depression, and then about 2009. Oh, okay, so that's when I started writing in my book, and everything I wrote in the book. It was unit one, the past, unit two, the present, and unit three, the future. And I'm still working on it right now.
Wow.
And and I'm on unit two, the present. And actually, that's where I'm stuck because I haven't wrote in it. It needs to be written in, so I can continue what's going to happen. And actually, Quasi Luminous has he's a fellow flurfer, whatever the heck they call him, and he's got these videos on his channel called Blood Over Intent, and he says, I intend to bring heaven on earth, and he like puts a little bit of his blood on a piece of paper, and people are calling him satanic or whatever. I don't give a shit about that. But he's saying his whole life and everything has changed. Like he's got a new pair, he's got super They Live glasses on, basically. They Live.
Sorry.
You know the movie They Live.
You know what, brother? I'm not really. I used to be a very big movie buff, but I'm not really. I'm more of like in this day and age. I'm more of a like
Music?
documentary or
Oh,
so.
okay.
I don't really watch that many movies. Sorry.
Oh no, no, no. They Live is it's a documentary
Oh, okay.
about.
Sorry, it is a documentary. My bad.
Well, no, it's technically a movie, but I call it
Yeah.
documentary. Um, but just do yourself a favor and actually, you know what? I'll hook you up. I'll find the exact link and
Nice
with
one, brother.
yeah, I'll do that right after we're done with this. But so so I let's see here. All right, so I'm trying to make sense of this. So after let's see here. I got out of the dualism. I stopped. I was sick and tired of hearing everyone talk about the fight versus the cosmic battle between good and evil. I was sick and tired of it. And so I became a non-dualist, which is someone who believes in the yin yang symbol, that's unified,
Yep.
like that. It's not just there's always good inside of evil, and there's always evil inside of good, and that's the dualism. No, there's shit beyond me. There's shit beyond Dan Falkenbach. There's shit beyond and that. There's shit beyond us that we don't understand that we can never
Of
know.
course.
And I felt it, and I directly experienced it, and I wept in utter awe and love, and it just there's and I was sober. Unless that I was at unless that chick freaking drugged me or something. There's a lot of like my life has literally become like a video game. Like where I've become like a video game character, and that's what it should be. Like my whole life, actually, I've considered myself like the second main character of the video game. And so why not make our lives? Why not become the first main? Why not be the main character of our own story of our own
Yep.
lives? Take over
Exactly.
and become our own power elite group. And and that's what we like. That's what we should do. Like, and I think all the flat earthers should get together who are single. So if you're a flat earther and you don't have kids and you're in the United States or Canada or Mexico, why don't or if you're in Europe or Africa or fucking Russia, why don't we start creating communes where all of us single flat Earth people move together, move in together, put our resources together, get and put everything that we know and start doing more experiments. Start planning expeditions. That's the otherwise we're just fighting amongst ourselves and not doing anything.
You know what, brother? That's a very, very, very good point because, like you say, rather than us, you got to because that's kind of the problem I had. You know, like sometimes I used to preach, but I didn't practice what I preached.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the problem with us, with society as general. Sometimes we talk, but we
Mm-hmm.
don't actually get up off our asses and do anything. And that's
Exactly.
something that I've tried to change
Yeah. So,
as I
so
as I
yeah.
progress as a human.
Exactly. So I'm getting in touch more and more. What's his face? Somebody just contacted me right before you did, and
Yep.
and was like, hey, what did he say? Actually, it's right here. Um, whatever. Well, he's like, I have a feeling that I have a feeling that like let's see here. I know Jaren has a kid. I made a joke about it. It's like, dude, I don't think Matt Boylan has a kid. Jake Gibson, I don't think he has a kid. Like, if you're gonna be a so-called leader of the flat Earth expedition or movement or whatever the heck you want to call it, you're gonna need support,
Yep.
and so like we have to pull our resources, our money, and get our acts together and actually start communicating. And I have been communicating with everyone.
Yep.
I pretty much I talked to a lot of the leaders except for Eric Dubé. That's the only one I really
Yeah.
have really talked
Likewise, I've spoke to Santos briefly. I was
on.
on one of his Google Hangouts. It was actually this time last year. I joined a group which on Skype, which was Flat Earth and Syncretism, which was his group.
Yeah, I'm in that.
and yeah, I've spoke to Santos briefly, and but the other flat Earth people, to be fair, I've messaged a lot of them to try and get them, see if I can speak to them. I understand that we're all busy with our own lives as well, and everyone's doing their own thing. But I've been trying to talk to someone, do a show about this for a little while. I've contacted a few people. They said they've got back to me, but again, I'm the person, I don't like to pester people.
Yeah.
If they are genuinely interested, they'll get back, like yourself. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I follow them guys as well. Like I've seen a lot of Jeranism stuff and
I watch all of them.
The
All of them I
Morgile.
watch. I've been watching all of them.
Yeah, I saw your interview with Patricia Steer. I like her show. She's cool.
Yeah. So, like you said, if you, have you actually, once you go through the awakening process, you have to then go study actual physics.
Yeah.
You actually then how can you debate with the globalists and the globetrotters and the globeheads, and how can you debate with a ball earther if you don't know the heliocentric model? How can you? So I remember how frustrated I was in like 2009. Oh, by the way, I remember seeing Zeitgeist when I was like 19 years old, and I wasn't. This was. I don't even think I smoked then. Was I? Yeah, that was the first time. One of the first times I ever got high was I was 19 years old. I waited that long, and and somebody had in Zeitgeist in the house at the house, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I'm like, all these gods are the same as all these different gods are the same as Jesus, and all their stories. I'm like, what the fuck? And then so then when that dude in Los Angeles gave me with the paper that said watch Zeitgeist, and I watched it again, and then I watched the second Zeitgeist, and then the third one came out, and I was just like, what the heck? I'm like, my life. So it's just, it's like you become a video game character, and I already have all my personal theories about literally thought I was Spider-Man as a kid, so I've been honing my spider senses. I've been like, I all these top physicists on the planet. They have you heard of the video game simulation theories, and that our life is a video game designed by aliens?
Yeah, I've heard all these different kind of stuff.
So it's like, dude, I've been thinking about this shit since I've been fucking 8 years old. That was my model of life when I was playing Final Fantasy, or when it was called Final Fantasy. When it was not Final Fantasy 15 that's about to come out, or Final Fantasy 15-3. They'll have 3 sequels to it. Like, there's things called dark matter. Items that you have to collect inside of the game in Final Fantasy. Wow. Dark matter is the rarest item. These are theoretical things that don't exist. So back to the studying physics. So then when you study physics and you learn the observable universe model that the heliocentrists follow, and that they don't even know their own model is consistent of 75% dark matter and 24% or 74% dark matter and 21% dark energy, and then what we're talking through right now, this materialistic medium, electric, even though we can break it down, and on the quantum level, it's not materialistic. But anyway, that's besides the point. So I forgot what the fuck was I just talking about?
You was talking about how can you debate with heliocentrics if you don't know the model.
So what we're communicating through is the physical universe. So that's the remaining 4%. So everything that is known right now through the top people on the planet, Bill Nye, the supposed top actors, people on the planet, Bill Nye, Neil deGrasse, Stephen Hawking, Richard Dawkins, all these fucking sham pseudoscientist actors, con artists. They communicate through the 4% physical universe. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. because basically it's like the 7 chakras. This is the bottom one. We're at the lowest vibration. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, I would guess so. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Because we don't we don't know about the dark. We don't know enough about the dark energy or the dark matter. So we'll just theorize about all. That's where all the theory. That's where
Yep.
all 96% of what they're trying to talk about is the unknown, and that's all the theories. That's all theories. That's Einsteinian physics. That's Newtonian mechanics. That's gravity. That's dark holes, dark matter. That's space-time curvature. That's everything that they talk about is unknown and unproven. And that's why it's just like, so they're talking. Oh my God, just trying to break down trying to see what I mean. Back to the beginning, trying to make sense of the heliocentric model is. Oh boy, that's a hoot.
What was I going? I come across the flat Earth. Well, saying that actually, it's like I said in my last interview to Summer, who I interviewed last. As a, how can I say, me as a person, Are you into astrology at all?
Yeah, I love it. I use Stellarium
Yeah.
and since I've driven back and forth from New York, Buffalo, New York to Los Angeles, I've been obsessed with seeing different constellations.
Yeah. Can I
So
ask? Sorry, brother. Go on. Carry on. Sorry.
Oh no. I've one of my first loves, my first hobbies was astrology and archaeology. Those are my first two loves, actually. Like before, I wanted to become a fireman like everyone else. I was excavating trilobites and horn coral and all different types of fossils and like weird beetle type of things. So I learned all the way back then. I'm like, okay, so what the hell is this shit? It's archaeology. So they're telling me. See, again, I relate everything to the flat Earth. So these trilobites that I excavated up when I was barely 10 years old, they're from in basically my backyard, from barely a mile away. This is 550 million years ago. So I'm excavating trilobites from 550 million years in my backyard, and so then that begs the question: well, how the fuck are these things 550 million years old?
Exactly.
How did the Earth shimmy its, you know what I mean? Shimmy. It's just like these trilobites are all the way down there, but they just get shimmied up. They through time, through 550 million years, they cut. Now, how can you take your machine, which is again a guess, it's a theory, it's all that's all, everything they have is a simulations. They have simulations, and the carbon radiation technology is that's a simulation. Those are theories. Those aren't actual 100%. They're not 100% right. See, it's just like, oh man, dude. Well, so that's 550 million years old. Yeah, that's not true. That's bullshit.
Yeah, because I've always wondered. You know when they do like fossil tests and they say it's this much old, what is it that defines the age? I've always wondered that. I've not looked into it much, but how can what's the how can? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. What they're testing that goes beep beep beep. Oh, so it's 550
Yeah, exactly.
years old.
What is?
Got it.
What's the connection? Where's the?
They're using some sort of, they say what is it, carbon radiation dating technology. So I'm not 100% sure, but they can detect some sort of radiation from from the DNA probably, or I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. That's why I don't try to make sense of stuff that doesn't exist.
It's like when they say the world started 4.5 billion years. I'm thinking, how do you know that? You wasn't there.
So
But
yeah,
then
so
you always talk about going by proof. So there's so many contradictions there. It's
14. So the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, um, and then the universe is 14.5 billion years old, give or take, a couple billion years, or give or take a couple 100 million years, depending on the scientist you ask. And so let's see here. Yeah, so when I moved back and forth to Buffalo to California, I was just obsessed with trying to find new constellations that I've never seen before, because you
yeah,
can only see a certain amount of constellations in New York. So whenever I came over I lived in Colorado, I lived in California, so I tried to look at new constellations, and so yeah, so I know there's like so many conversations. So back to the physics conversation. So then I had to go and study all of physics and learn all of their models. And I remember how frustrated I was with all that. So then you just have to go. You have to put the work in. That's what people don't want to do.
yeah,
They just
exactly.
they don't want to go. They don't want to go back and throw all of their personal history and all of their everything that they've accumulated. And it's usually all ball knowledge. It's all globalism and heliocentrism and evolution, and uh, it's
Yeah,
just so instead of just going and throwing that all away and going back and studying it all again, like actual real school, what they should do in real school, but they diagnose people like me with ADHD because I don't want to pay attention to garbage. Um, so so then you have to study everything, and that's why people stop. That's why people stop, and they have kids, or they get married, uh, and then like they stop the search. Oh yeah, I used to be into conspiracy theories. Yeah, I used to do that. Yeah, that's like Joe Rogan when he goes, "Oh yeah, like I used to be into conspiracies. Remember that show I had? Joe Rogan questions everything except the flat Earth. See, I used to be into conspiracies, but no, I grew up, and now I'm a big globalist gatekeeper, and I get nice paychecks. And see, they stop. And they don't push themselves further, and they don't revise their reality tunnel,
yeah.
and they don't update their paradigm. Updating my paradigm is what I do on an everyday basis.
Likewise.
People are scared of contradicting themselves and being caught in a. You just contradicted yourself there. You just contradicted yourself there. I don't give a fuck. If you don't contradict yourself a little bit, or then you don't have a
You learn
complex.
from your mistakes, don't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I put myself out there. I, it, I put myself out there consistently. If you because not many people can even challenge me. It's boring.
Yeah.
I will assume. I assume things now. I don't even. I know assumptions make an ass out of you and me, but I want to get made a fool of. I want people to try to make a fool of me.
Yeah.
Please try to. Please prove me wrong. Oh, prove me wrong how come when I was in Buffalo and I grew up my whole life and lived next to Lake Erie, how come I can see the buildings across the lake to Canada? And those are 40 to 60 miles away.
Exactly.
I'm in Lake Erie. Sitting on a beach next to on Lake Erie at the sand, and I can see the Canadian buildings that are 40 to 60 miles away, which would mean that those buildings should be 1,000 feet below the horizon.
It's like
How come I can see that with my bare eyes? Yeah, no, that's called empirical evidence. That's proof of a flat plane right in front of me.
definitely. It's like my parents. They're from Cyprus, and from Cyprus you can see Turkey, and that's like supposed to be 60 miles away. But at night time you can see the lights across the water. So that's it's just
Yeah.
there's too many proofs to disprove the globe.
And I remember growing up, and I remember being in school, and I remember asking the teacher, "Hey, how do you guys know what color the dinosaurs are? How do you know what color dinosaurs are? Because in all the pictures they have all the colors." And I'm like, wait a minute. if these dinosaurs lived millions and millions of years ago, then how do they have the colors already set? How could they see the colors? So how could they know that there are feathers on these things?
Exactly.
How could you know that there are? You can't know that there are feathers, and you can't know that the colors of the feathers. You can't know the colors of the skin. You can't know the colors of these creatures, or if they had feathers. Like that's fucking. That's all made. So I was already asking that shit in school, and they're like, "Fuck, give this kid Ritalin. He's asking too many questions." Uh, so so like I was questioning gravity in 2009, 2010. I was not that I was into Hollow Earth 2009, 2010. That's when I right after my depression started to do all
Yeah.
this research, and so if I'm questioning this shit in 2009, 2010,
Wow.
2011. That's when I actually started talking. That's when I found Santos Bonacci's work about 2010.
Yeah.
I'm going to do an interview with Santos
Oh, that
soon.
would be so awesome, man. I'd really look forward to hearing that. My I come across Santos 2015 in the summer. Like do you know what's really mad? Why I really wanted to talk to you because I find that I've got so much. You know, you see, you did that thing where you've called out all the people like Joe Rogan, Graham Hancock, Mark Passio, Michael Tazari, and these are all people as well that I really used to look up to. I still
Me too.
think their work's okay, good, but it's weird since I've watched Santos and other people like Eric DeBay and different and like Jeranism, and I've like got into flat Earth and syncretism. It's like I've not gone off. I've gone off their work a bit, and I found it interesting that you called them particular people out because they're the same kind of people that I was following, but I don't really follow them as much anymore.
Yeah,
I
me
actually met
same.
Graham Hancock in 2015. I went to one of his shows
Yeah.
and I got his book and he signed it and whatever. But it was so mad. It was shortly after that when I came across the whole flat Earth thing, and I was wondering for a while like what his view was on it, and then I see one day he posted on his page. He was like
Mm-hmm.
mocking the flat Earth thing, and then I noticed shortly after that Santos made a few comments about him and stuff. But don't take me wrong, he's done some. I like his work on like ayahuasca and the like psychedelic and the different realms and that.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love
But I'm not really into his whole
that.
comet and NASA thing and
It's the same thing with Michael Cesarian.
yeah,
That's how they make money. You can't blame the fellas.
yeah. I mean that's
Uh,
another thing. I think the reason why they won't go over to it because I think maybe they think all their work's going to be discredited.
well,
But
yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. How you have to throw away all your previous work and start over.
I
Fuck, we
don't
have to.
think that's the case
What do you
because
mean?
for argument's sake, like Graham Hancock did that Orion mystery with that other guy. Who was it? Uh,
David Wilcock,
no, it was. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, he did a joint book with a guy.
Stephen Greer.
No, it was.
Damn it, can't remember.
I can't remember, but I'll. But anyway, and he talks about how like the pyramids are aligned with Orion's belt and
Yep.
stuff like that, and maybe he thinks that if it's not a globe, then that theory won't work. But like Santos said, it will work. You just have to adapt it to
Yeah.
instead of the globe turning, the stars are turning, so it doesn't.
Yeah, like Santos used to have used to be
Heliocentrist model. I've seen all
yeah.
his old stuff. Yeah,
It's like he's man enough to admit it and then go back and
exactly.
rewrite and rework it all into a new model. That's called growing up and learning and
Exactly.
evolving, owning yourself, taking responsibility for your delusional choices that you choose to believe in.
Yeah, it's like myself as well. I don't know if I've told you. I write. I recorded my first rap mixtape. Well, I started in 2014. Since I become spiritual and I started experimenting with marijuana and stuff. Like I said, it opened a lock in my mind, and I started writing, and I've created my own music.
Oh
And
yeah.
in a track, which is I writ called Nature vs. the Digital, my opening line is, "As the globe turns in space, we're living in this digital age."
Yeah.
But by the time I finished the mixtape, I was a flat earthist. But I didn't
Yeah.
change it because that's what I thought at that time. So
Oh.
I see
Dude.
it as it shows me how I've progressed and matured and evolved as a person. So
Yep.
I still left it in there. Do you get what I mean? Because that
Oh,
was my thought at
absolutely.
the time.
You just totally made me think of something. So the reason why I've stopped my book is because I wrote it as a heliocentrist.
Yeah,
So that's what you're just talking about.
exactly.
So I have all of this stuff, so in my book, so I was trying to figure out the heliocentric model in my book. So that's you're just like unlocked a block in my head.
Yeah,
So I was trying to make sense of the heliocentric model, and I'm like, we seem to be a monkey on a ball rock spinning through space. Oh, so now I have to call out Nasir Haramein, that physicist guy. So
okay.
so so then I came across that Nasir Haramein guy, the long haired like Greek dude who was living out of his van in a computer for like 10 years. So then I stumbled across that sun model that's flying through space, the vortex pattern,
Yep.
the spiraling vortex pattern. I came across that in like 2012, 2013, and that was his model, Nasir Haramein's. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but so then he's got that video where it shows the sun flying through space with all the planets spiraling around it. You know what I'm
Yep.
talking about?
Yep. I've seen that video. I think in one of Santos's old
Yeah,
videos
so
as
that
well.
so that like that really like blew my mind the first time I seen it. I'm like,
Exactly.
holy fucking shit! But then I don't accept things as I don't accept things as conclusive. I don't live with conclusions. Or certitudes. I constantly have to revise and update and
Yep.
edit. And so now I go back and look at my Facebook memories, and I see like when I believe in 2013. That's when I was like, oh, really, I'm like, oh, so people thought oh man, that's just crazy. So yeah, so then now basically for the past 3 years, I've just been just trying to I could, what, become a cosmologist or a freaking a cosmologist. Isn't that a girl who does makeup? Oh god, that's hilarious. Jesus Christ.
It's all good, brother.
Um,
We all say things wrong sometimes. It's not a problem.
um, oh man, let's see here. So basically, yeah, I've just been a cosmic historian, trying to figure out the story of the cosmos now,
Same.
and yeah, definitely, dude. You do an interview with Santos, man. You
Yeah.
can get him on easily.
Do you know what? I've actually messaged him, but and to be fair to Santos, I've messaged him a few times, and he's always got back to me. But he hasn't got back to me this time. But I understand the guy's busy. He's probably
Yeah.
got so much
He does a lot
people.
of interviews.
Exactly, he's on
Does a lot.
demand so much. So I, I I'm not even.
Like
I don't even mean to brown nose him, but that guy
oh,
literally. Not he ain't changed my life, but what I mean, once I watched his videos, like I said, it's like he was a key that unlocked something in my brain. Everything just made sense. It's just
yeah.
his work's amazing. But talking about, I also wanted to touch up on like the subject of NASA and the whole like meaning of NASA and the free. Do you know that NASA in Hebrew means to deceive?
Deceive. Yeah.
You knew that, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I was looking into stuff about how Admiral Byrd, where he went to Antarctica and stuff.
Yeah. That's what I was studying in like 2009 with the Hollow Earth shit.
Yeah, and how they had a military mission called the High Jump, where they went to invade Antarctica because the Nazis were there
Hmm.
building um, like advanced technology and stuff. And a lot of people don't know that actually NASA's main people are actually former Nazi members.
Yeah, Operation Paperclip.
Yeah, and when you tell people this, they get really defensive. And it's because I had a basically, if you don't mind me running something by you,
No.
a woman posted a uh, a post on Facebook, and the post was, "In 3 days' time, NASA says a comet will hit the Earth." So
Yeah.
obviously, I knew that's bullshit. So I put, the poo emoji sign.
Was that like about a year ago or a year and a half ago?
No, it was like literally about 3 months ago, about two
Oh, okay.
months ago,
Okay.
and because I knew it was bullshit, I put like a poo emoji sign as a comment,
Yeah.
and she's gone. Did you read the article? I said no. If it's from NASA, I don't need to read it because I know it's going to be bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I posted something about. Do you know who Dr. Sabi is?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That black dude who just got murdered,
yeah.
who was
I
a
posted something
holistic.
about how he
Or,
cured cancer and
yeah,
AIDS and stuff like that. And
yeah. He's a legend.
because I left that comment on her thing, she felt like she had to attack me. And she said, "Oh, you left a comment about NASA, and I'm studying astronomy, and you're lying. There is space, and there is this and that." And I said, "I'm not making this stuff up. I've researched it. Do you get what I mean?"
Yeah.
And people get really, really offensive. I don't get
Defensive.
why. I don't
Hostile.
understand why they're so
Well, it's
attached.
because that's their cognitive dissonance acting in.
Well, I do
That's
understand because basically I'm bursting their bubble of their
well,
reality that
yeah,
they live in.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
It
but
well
it's
forces them to think.
exactly.
That's like same thing as a comedian. Like I use a lot. I come from a comedic background.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't noticed, I really just I have a trickster type of elfish mentality. Like I like to let's see here. How do I put it? I'm not shit. Dude. What were you just saying? That'll make me remember.
We was talking about um, how people get
Ah,
so
yeah. See, like
defensive.
all the cognitive dissonance sets in, and like people's egos get in the
Yep.
way, and they want to like show off their knowledge of space,
Yep.
and so they get into like this competitive knowledge, especially men. Like I noticed if
Yep.
men are in a group or in a room and there's women involved, and they like to pull our dicks out, and we like to try to measure our dicks to see which one's the biggest. And I mean that in the and so we'll talk about like space and the speed of light and
Yep.
like no this no these conspiracies are true, you idiot, those ones aren't true. And so like they try to use this secret occult knowledge to get laid instead of actually for truth purposes and for science and for actual humanity and for the
Exactly. They're
betterment
using
of
it in a
humankind.
selfish way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I noticed how like neutral people are. Like they just like the people that give up and they're all like they lose color in their face. They become pale. They're lazy. They don't have any energy. It's like, well, dude, you're getting your energy sucked away by dark sorceries that are
Exactly.
practicing heliocentrism. And that's like magic. That's we're all magicians. That we've been we that's what schooling did to us. They turned us into little fucking Harry Potters again, and they we've been used. They taught us evil spells, unconscious spells. They didn't teach us the good spells.
Yep.
So literally, you have to brainwash yourself. You have to deprogram yourself, then reprogram yourself, and that takes work. Like I've said,
Yep.
it took me since 2009. So it took me. I've been nonstop with this for over 7 years.
Yep.
So it takes. It's not like it's not like you get hit with a 2x4 and suddenly you know the secrets of the universe. Like
Exactly.
it takes work, and that's what people are afraid of.
Yeah.
That's why people give up, and that's why they just settle with 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 sports and zombified mediocre living, and I won't settle for that. That's why
Likewise.
I stay away from I stay like if I feel like I'm being attacked, man, I'll lash out. I don't care. Like people are people. I notice people go, dude, you're like you're raising your voice. You're getting really animate. Like, dude, you don't realize how much I don't care. Like, I don't care. I eventually will be speaking. I'm eventually going to be paid to be speaking at events, and I'm going to be funny. I'm going to try to be funny with it. That's the thing. It's really hard to be funny when you're talking about these subjects.
Yep.
That's why like people like comedians, it's hard to keep going. Like, have you ever heard of Bill Hicks?
I've heard of him. Yep.
Like, there's George Carlin, Richard Pryor. Um, you can tell that these people. It's just the truth is really hard to be funny with. So, and it pisses a lot of people off. So you have to become like a really good speaker, and you have to be. It's like you have to tread on eggshells. You have to be careful, but at the same time, fuck that, dude. Like,
Exactly.
how could you water yourself down? How could you delude yourself if you have something to share? You gotta share it, man. That's why I wanted to do that. Come on here because I do have stuff here, and I'm happy that you let me get some of this out.
No, man, it's all good, brother. Because at the end of the day, I've been on the same journey myself. Like, mine's 3 years. Mine was like at the beginning, well, like the end of 2013. I would say is when I really a shift happened in my life. And again, even with my like people around me, they're only kind of coming to terms with it. If that like my parents and stuff, and
Oh yeah.
like I quit my job and I said fuck the system, and
Mm-hmm.
I've just been on my own journey and whatever, and
Yep.
it like they didn't like it, but at the end of the day, I can't keep doing things that for other people. I have to find a balance. I've got to do me as well. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't keep acting like you said, or so I've had to go on my own journey and show them that what I'm doing is not harming me. If anything, it's making me better.
Yep, absolutely.
So I mean, sometimes you just got to say, in a nice way, don't like you said. I don't give a shit what people think as well now, because if you know the truth, then it doesn't matter what other people think. People can call you a bum, a tramp, or whatever. I'm none of them things, so it doesn't affect me. Do you get what I mean? So
Oh, absolutely. You can't be freaking. Yeah, you're not gonna let words tie you down.
exactly. One thing I wanted to just quickly talk to you about, if that's okay. Are you all right for another 5 or 10 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You spoke about how you met Russell Brand at his show and he picked you out of the crowd, and
Yeah.
you said the no-name guy and whatever. It's just, again, that's another thing we have in common. I've actually met him as well, but when I was working in the hospital, I was on my lunch break, and it was around the time where, do you remember when they were doing the ice bucket challenge?
Yeah.
And I was just outside, like walking around, and I see Russell Brand and loads of cameras. So I walked over and I thought, oh, let me have a look at what's going on. And he was there to do the ice bucket challenge and whatever.
Yeah.
And he picked 2 people, and I was one of the people that poured the water over him. So
That's hilarious.
yeah, you could check that on Facebook actually.
Oh,
But
on
YouTube, should I say? But yeah, and he's a really cool guy, and he's someone whose work that I follow a lot as well, and I respect his stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just like that's another reason. Like I said, I wanted to talk to you because I feel like everything, like the people you used to list, like Graham, like there's a lot of, how can I say, syncretism there, like between
Yes.
the stuff that you liked and I like, and the people that you've met and whatever. Obviously,
And the people that we used to respect.
yeah, exactly, and that's another reason why I wanted to connect with you, and just because again I like what you're doing, and like you said, like with me as a person, I would say I'm a bit submissive and I'm not quite confrontational as a person, so
Yeah.
I'm not as out there as certain people are promoting the message, but I've become a bit more open about it. Like I do talk to people about flat Earth,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's just it has to be in the right time and setting. If we're all out, I won't bring it up because we're all out having a nice time or whatever. Do you get what I mean? But
Yeah, I get what you mean all the time. I can't bring it up to my roommate because it's too much because it's just I bring it up to him like every other day or every like 3 days because he's neutral now. He doesn't
yeah,
know he knows it's not a ball.
yeah,
But oh, and you said you wanted me to speak on NASA. Just fuck NASA. That's all I have to say.
yeah. Likewise, brother. Likewise, man. I mean,
Fucking
every time I see
I
one
want
of
my
this,
money back.
you want your money back? Did you say
Yeah, like
the tax money?
that's a lot of money for a lot of CGI pictures.
Do you know what? Do you know what kills it, brother? Like, fair enough, right? If we paid them money, but like by them supposedly going to Pluto or Mars or wherever they're going, how does that
Do anything.
contribute to our Earth? It doesn't
It's
at all.
no, doesn't do anything. What has Stephen Hawking made or invented?
It's
Has he
just
done anything?
no.
No.
It's just again, it's just a distraction to take away the distraction of what's really going on here, and for you to be looking at, oh, they've just reached Pluto somehow with perfectly clear pictures, but I can't get a bloody signal on my phone sometimes. Work that out.
Yeah,
It's just people don't answer these questions, and like I said, like I'm getting frustrated just talking about it. But
they can go to the moon, they can go to the Mars rover, but they can't record the journey. They can't record the journey. They have the technology to go there, but they just can't record the journey. You know
it's just
that makes perfect sense.
it's
Like,
just literally it's
how wouldn't you think they would want to record the journey and make money off of that and put it on a channel, perhaps? Speaking of a reality television show, even though that was an hour ago, um, let's see here. How about the United Nations reality television show, where we have cameras inside the United Nations building, and we have cameras for each country represented, and we can all see what they're saying to each other live, so that we can figure out like what they're actually doing instead
yeah,
of just that would be a good reality, a reality television show where reality is going on.
exactly. But
So that would make sense to actually know what is going on with reality. But no, see, like, yeah, these are all gang. All the borders, Europe and America and Russia and China, all those lines and borders, all they are they're the remnants of the previous war between mafia gangs and shamans.
yeah,
So all of these lines that are left with are literal piss marks from the wars of the ancient shamans and now the modern day mafia.
yeah,
So now we just have that's what it is. If there's somebody asked me the other day, do you really think like the Clintons are bad people? And I'm like, no. I actually just think they're fucking puppets that just
exactly.
make money and they're actors and they live their lives and they die and they don't do anything but make money and They don't do anything. The people that are really in charge, you don't know their names.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, those people that people think that they're in charge, that we don't know their names, they don't have any idea of what's going on. Those people want to control things. The people that people call they, the powers that be, the
Yeah.
powers that shouldn't be, or whatever the hell clever things they want to say. Those people aren't in control. That's the whole thing. They want to be in control. The, they can't be. How can you control a living entity called the Earth? You can't.
Yeah.
So they want to try to make us believe that they're in control of this living entity, and so pass they pass it off as control power, and they give us fear as the result.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they want, that they allow us to stew in, is fear. And I know the difference between fear and love. I've felt fear 100%, and it's horrible. And I choose love.
Likewise, brother. Likewise. I mean, um, yeah. I mean, I've watched a lot about how. Have you looked much into like subterranean civilizations and how about that's like because that's like we spoke about Nazis going to Antarctica and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they claimed that
Underground cities, you mean?
yeah, underground cities, and also they claim that there's an underground race who are more
Yeah.
like more advanced than us, and this is where they get all their technology, and this is why there was a sudden.
Are those the Greys or the reptilians?
I think they're like they're known as the Nordics, aren't they?
Oh, well, I thought the Nordics were the blonde-haired, blue-eyed beings from
Pleiades.
yeah. Yeah, but how would that be subterranean then?
That's right, but I think no. What it is, from what I've watched, they say that there's a Vril society where they get them kids with the long hair as like they're supposed to be antennas that connect with like beings from the Pleiades who give them information. And I've
Shit.
watched some mad stuff, but
Well, I heard of that. I heard of that Vril society,
Yeah.
but yeah, I haven't checked into that.
yeah, you should check that out. That's definitely very, very
Wow.
interesting stuff. But yeah, I mean, again, I don't know 100%, but it's just stuff like I'm looking into and stuff. It blows my mind.
Mhm. Yeah. Uh, see here. Yeah, I haven't looked into that
Okay.
too much. Yeah, no.
So what I can say, brother, is if you want, we can call it a day for today, and we can always hook up again, have another chat, or
Yeah.
if that's cool
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Or
I enjoyed
just
the
keep
time
in
here.
touch. It's
Oh
been
yeah, we
great
will.
connecting,
Absolutely.
brother. And
Now,
just want to say once again, I really appreciate your time because, like I say, you contact many people, but not many people get back to you. And I really respect you taking your time out to talk to me. It means a lot.
absolutely. And I'll pass a message a personal message to Santos saying that you want to do an interview with him.
Yeah, you know what would even be good, brother? We
Yeah.
could we could do a three-way one all together on
Oh, that'd be
Google.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
just that's what I'm saying.
two birds with one stone.
If you can, yeah, let's do it,
Yeah.
man. I'm definitely up for it. The only
Yeah.
thing is, I can't record. I can do Google Hangouts from my phone, but not from my laptop because my laptop's a bit old. But yeah, man, we can make that happen, and I'll definitely be up for that.
So would it be over Skype then?
No, if one of you guys could do it, I could still do it.
Oh,
Do you get,
okay.
do you
Yeah.
get what I mean? I just
Yeah,
can't do it
I
on
would
my
have
laptop.
I'd have Santos do it because he's way better at that shit than I am.
Yeah, so just let me know, and I'll definitely be up for that.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely let him know,
But like,
and
I
we'll
just
definitely stay in touch.
yeah, man. Just before you go, let the people know where they can check out some of your work on social media. You've got your YouTube, which is Flat Earth Dan Falkenbach, and you've also got Facebook page. Is there any other stuff like Instagram or Twitter?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Dan Falken. It's just my name, my last name
Yeah,
without the Bach, the conductor. My last name's Falk. It's pronounced Falcon, the bird, Bach, the conductor,
yeah.
Falkenbach. But so at Dan Falken on Instagram and on Twitter at I'm not a comedian, and the I'm is not an abbreviation. It's just an under. It's the lower dash, not the middle dash, but the lowest, the low dash. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep, yep.
So I'm not a comedian at Twitter, and yeah, I'm gonna make some videos. You gave me a bunch of ideas on the YouTube videos, and yeah, man, thanks, dude. Thanks for having me on.
Cool,
That was fun.
brother. Thanks a lot. Like I said, I really appreciate your time, and yeah, I just want to say peace and blessings, and thank you very much.
Absolutely, man. We'll stay in touch and hold the anchor strong over there. Where are you?
I'm in London, man.
Okay, so you're in London. Damn,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
awesome.
in
Do you
the
know? Do you
financial
know
capital.
what is it? The Flat Earth capital?
The financial capital, isn't it, London?
Yeah, the financial capital. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you know Alain de Botton?
Alan who?
Alain de Botton. It's a French guy.
I don't.
Okay, all right, yeah. He's got a school over there called the Book of Life or the School of Life, the School of Life.
Okay,
And
no, I'm not sure.
you,
I've not heard of him.
yeah, you can go to that. I'm pretty sure you can just go to that his university over there for free.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, shit, man. Uh, it's cool. I forgot you're over in London, man. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's so cool, dude. It's so cool how we're all spread out all over, and
Yeah, man.
that's freaking exciting and inspiring. So yeah, dude. Thanks, man. I'm gonna hang up here and freaking
Cool, brother.
talk soon, man.
Cool, man.